Tonight we have a really special guest. It's one of the successful entrepreneurs within the Czech startup scene. It's the music composer and CEO and co-founder of Beat Games. Basically, this studio is behind one of the successful VR game in the history, Beat Saber, which you can try here. And he was selected for the Forbes 30 Under 30 in the Czech Republic for 2016. Please give a warm welcome to Jaroslav Beck.
Hi.
Okay, hi.
Hi,
Okay.
Thank you for introduction. That was really nice.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jaroslav, that you could make it here tonight. And at the beginning, we are at every startup grind, we are starting with the question: if you could tell us just briefly, where are you from? How did you grow up? How you ended up in the world of music and music composing?
Well, that's quite a long story. So I'm originally from Czech Republic, from s.r.o, small town, but great town. We have a lot of bagpipers here, so we have musical history. And then I was studying mechanical engineering, which didn't end up that well. And then I quit mechanical engineering. I went to UK and I started to studying music, because this is something what I always wanted to do. And luckily, I was actually lucky enough that everything worked out surprisingly well. So I was able to start studying in the UK, and then I spent 2 years. I did my degree, but most importantly, I learned a lot of things about sound and composing music in general. And then, then miracles happened pretty much, and I got my first offers for composing music into like movie trailers and game trailers scene, and this went really well. So I was composing quite a lot of music for trailers for the biggest games out there, which was really. It was good exercise and experience. And then, I composed for quite a long time, and 4 years. And then I felt that it's actually the right timing to switch a little bit, because sometimes you feel that you just came to the point where you are trying to make like shortcuts in things what you are doing, because you almost feel that you know it too well, that it's every time when you do something that it's like it's not challenge anymore. And I think this thing is really dangerous to experience, or actually dangerous if you don't want to do anything with that. And I started to experience it in making music for those type of trailers, because it was like every time I did it somehow went through, and like people were happy, which is awesome. But then I didn't feel that I'm going somewhere. And at that time, luckily, I find out the Beat Saber and the first teaser. And since then, everything changed, and I think there's no way I can be bored from that, because there's so many things to learn, and it's brand new. It's a brand new journey and pretty much a brand new topic. So yeah, this is what's happened.
And what was the trigger, that you decided, okay, I'm not really interested, in these technical things at university, and switch for music? It was like during that time, during your studies, you already composed something, and that was the trigger that you really like it and want to change it. So what was the trigger for it?
Well, that's... I always wanted to do something with sound, because I was a DJ before, and so it's not that I'm just like tired making music. That's not true. I was just like when you are doing like trailer music every day, it became like repetitive. It's same like when everybody is doing something like every day. it's just, you know, you stop concentrating and you just simply stop challenging yourself to do next project better than the previous one. And when this happened, you really need to switch, and that was the thing. What happened to me? Why I felt that it needs to be.
Who was your first client for music composing?
It was like the first trailer I worked on was Battlefield Hardline, so EA Games, but it was through the guy who's called Charles Deanan, and he's like he lives in Los Angeles, and he's like one of the like gods in the music business. He's doing like pretty much, if you've seen commercial for BMW, like the cars and stuff like this, he's like the hero in car sound. So every car's commercial is what sounds amazing. So they are probably done by him. So he has like very small group of people who are really good in like doing really punchy sound. And when he saw demo reel I worked on, so he somehow find this type of sound in it, even though I don't agree it was good enough. But that was the moment when he texted me if I would like to work on that project, and he actually introduced me in this world of like I don't want to say it like AAA content, like teasers or trailers or soundtracks, but this was the beginning.
And from the time you have worked for different, large and really famous, customers like EA Games, Blizzard, and others. What do you think that you learned from during that way? What did you learn? What would you say that there are these top like learnings? What you got from it?
Well, I think it's that thing what I felt that I'm losing, and this is that you really need to push yourself every single time, and I truly mean it. Like it's a huge cliche, but that everything you do, if you start feeling that you are not doing your best, you probably shouldn't do it. And projects for Blizzard, it's all about this. Like they will never prove something what is not good enough. And this was really challenging, and I really like when you can push yourself every time, and everything you do is like a little bit better than the previous project what you worked on. So this is what I learned, that you just need to push yourself, and it's actually, you also learn how to work really effectively, because when you will get project, the last thing what can happen is that you will tell your client that you are not going to make it in time. So this is something what like teach me in a most brutal way that like the deadlines is like there's no way you can break it. And it was actually a good starting experience, because it will like make your moral really like strong in the way that when you set some goal, there's no way that you can't like get to it. You will just like go no matter what, and you will just accomplish that in time no matter what. So like no matter how long you are working or what is it in the way. So that's the thing. And for all of those years, you were like a freelancer. You were working just on your own. So why you decided, to change it and start a company and, start some studio? Why? Well, it's interesting, because when you work like by yourself, at some point you will find out that this work is a little bit lonely. You are still working with a lot of people and you are meeting a lot of people, but I actually, because the only time I was employed, it was for Mountfield, and I was building swimming pools. So like it was long time ago, but I always wanted to be in larger team, because I was so inspired by the work what those big companies are doing, because the work what they are doing like teams are always better than what you do by yourself. So the first idea was that when I founded Epic Music Productions, and the reason why it's called Productions is that there is more people who are working under one like building, and they are actually creating music together, even though they will be other freelancers or they will be working on their own projects, but they are under one roof, and it's better to share ideas when you are under one roof. And when I started to work with other people and try to give them like the chance to work, like just record guitars for cinematics for Blizzard, and those guys never did anything before, any big projects, and they are playing in bands, but now they are in the biggest like cinematics from the biggest bands. So it was really like awesome for me just to see how excited they are, and just recall how excited I was when I got the chance to do this. And since then it was really nice transition to beat games, because when I find out Jan and Vladimir, and I actually didn't know that Beat Saber was done by guys from Slovakia who are living in Prague or close to Prague. So then I find out actually somebody, I really admire their work, and I really think what they are doing, it's really awesome. And when you close this small circle, when you have like developers who can do awesome content and music which is hopefully good enough, so you can create something great. And this was actually that time when the reason why Beat Game actually exists is that I really felt that little circle just like clicked together, and I really tried to convince those guys that we really need to form this company, because I think that we can create great things together.
And I think that this is something important what you mentioned during your years, at the first company, the Epic Music, that you started to work with other people. You should learn really quickly how to lead them, how to do many other things. So how was your first year of running the company? What you learned from the first year?
Well, a lot of things. Everybody are saying this probably, but I don't like the corporate structure that much. So it's more like it's a company, but still it's like a bunch of people working together, and it's starting really naturally. So there was like actually no need for any like specific, corporate type of systems and stuff like this. But so I really like spoke with my friends and asked them, how they feel about this work, if they would like to do something else, or just try to like feel from their perspective how they like see their work. And or when I ask them to do something, so first I ask myself how I would feel if somebody like me would ask myself to do this. So this is only like measurement for me to find out if this is good or bad or stuff like this, and it always worked out well. But right now I'm finding out that when the team is like scaling up and the work is like really intensive, and there's a lot of opportunities, so that even like team needs to scale up, and there have to be like some processes in the way how just to try to save ourselves and not die. So I'm still learning in this, but I actually feel that this is the path where I should go, and I actually feel very comfortable with. So yeah, it's a lot of people are actually asking me how you can become like from composer to somebody who is like leading something.
Business owner.
Well, yeah, maybe, but it's kind of weird, but for me it feels really natural, because I never was like 100% artist. Mm-hmm. I was like on both sides a little bit, so now it's like switched a little bit more, because I'm not making that many music, unfortunately, even though I would like to. But yeah, it's switching, and it's refreshing.
And from your times at Beat Games, have you started with some investor, or how you get the money, to start it for the development, and for all other things?
Well, Beat Saber, it is really specific thing because those guys, they work on the game in their free time, and just because they are such awesome developers, so they actually didn't need any resources for that. They were just like doing it because they wanted to, and they actually stopped working on Beat Saber for quite some time, and then luckily they came back to it. And I personally, when I find out that Beat Saber is happening, and I actually thought that Beat Saber is done by some AAA company. When I saw it first time on Facebook and news feed, and I saw this, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. But the only thing what was missing was the music, because the visuals and the direction in the VR, what I see, it was. I was actually really skeptical about VR before I seen Beat Saber, and at that moment when I seen that little teaser, I actually started feeling that VR is on the good path to become a mainstream platform. So, and that's the reason why I contacted them, because So then I just offered them that I will make a soundtrack for it, because I felt that this was the only part what was missing, and we didn't spoke much about costs and stuff like this, but we make some deal, and I actually didn't want any money for the soundtrack, so we did some deal, and then the game was pretty much free. It was just our time. And regarding the investment, we had people who were really interested to give us an investment. But and we already had discussions and stuff like this, and those guys were absolutely amazing. And what we did was that I actually thought that the game will be really successful, and we spoke with guys about it, and we decided that we won't take any investment at all. But I told them that we probably would need somebody who is really experienced in VR, what we want, or what we are not experienced in VR, because this is our first true VR project. So we make from those guys our advisors. So, and this was really good move, I guess. So, yeah.
The Beat Saber, when you started to develop Beat Saber, it was, or the guys with you, it was 2 years ago?
Yeah, sometime, I think mid 2016 or something like this.
Okay, and you were there from the very beginning. You saw the teaser, the time without music.
Well, I've been there since mid 2017.
Okay, so 1 year they were working on the development.
Yeah, and then they released the first teaser, and since then I met them. I was part of it, because actually it took quite a long time to make the soundtrack, because it was challenging to make. I really wanted to bring as many styles as possible. There's 10 tracks in the basic soundtrack, so I really wanted to bring as many styles, yet to keep some signature feel from the music. So this was challenging, and it took almost 6 months or something like this.
And what was the first success, with the first version what you released? Because I remember that I saw it somewhere, online, that hey, this is something pretty cool. It has so many downloads, so it was organically that all those people just saw it on the Steam or somewhere, or you support it somehow.
So how this happened? It's the whole Beat Saber thing is completely organic viral, and this is what helped us in a big way, and what I think helped industry in a big way as well. That actually Beat Saber is one of the first, if not the first, VR game what became truly organically viral, and people started to buy headsets because of this game. So it started, I think, in January this year, when we released with Jan, or actually Jan put it on his Twitter, the first teaser with my music in, and I just sent him the music, which was like the final, and I wanted to see what he can do with it, and he didn't mention anything, but he just like said that he's excited about the thing, what he did. He was creating the beat maps with those cubes, and he made 30 seconds long video. He put it on Twitter, and it instantly went viral, and I think it had like 18,000 likes, and half of it was shares on Twitter, even though he had like 1,000 followers at that point. So it was quite unexpected, and it brought a lot of panic into our team because the game wasn't finished yet. And since then we were rushing because we knew that we need to release this game as soon as possible, so we announced that we will release it in May, so May 1st, great date. And so we did it, and actually we have here our head of marketing, and she can confirm that we are not spending any money for like PR or anything like this. It's like truly organic.
So within this last 10 or 11 months, how many people do you have within your team?
So we started 3, and we are, I think, 7 right now. But our core team, it's 5 people, and other 2 are like external advisors or somebody who's just like helping us on when we need something.
Mm-hmm. Until the first release, the official release of the game, you still didn't have any investor. You just self-funded all your work, your time.
Well, we still don't have any investors, and we are really careful about that because I don't know if we will have any in the future, but right now we actually really doesn't need them, and it's a good place to be, I guess. Because you don't need to be stressed that somebody would like to force you to spend all your time on features that will make you most money. So we can make decisions what are truly beneficial for the game itself. And this is the most important thing, because then when you start working on something and you know that you are doing it just to raise money or just make a lot of money, it somehow doesn't work, or you stop believing in the thing. And the good thing about Beat Saber is that I truly believe that this game can push boundaries in VR in general and bring a lot of excitement from public who probably never heard or probably heard about VR but never tried at least. So therefore it's really important to not focus on be a money machine, but more focus on the quality and be sure that people who will try the VR for the very first time will have the very best possible experience. They won't become sick or something like this.
And are you right now fully focused only on Beat Saber, or you are working on some different games or different products as well?
Well, I'm fully focused on Beat Saber because when you have the game what became so successful, there is really no time for anything else. I have in my head a lot of things what I would like to do, but I need to be sure first that we finish the game in the best possible way, that everything is working, and then that the infrastructure is built, and then I can start working on other things. But I also think, and what I learned is that when you are doing more things at once, you will probably do those things in a good way, but it's really important to have a sharp focus on just one thing, because you can make it awesome, and good is not good enough.
Have you thinking about some maybe partnering, with because what is your business model? You are selling the game, and as well you are selling the hardware to it, and all of it in one package, or you have some partners, with whom you are cooperating?
So we are selling the game on Steam. We release Beat Saber on PlayStation. We are on Oculus as well. So we are selling game online. We are also in arcades, so on the location around the world, so people can play the game. We are not selling hardware because we simply don't have time for that. But we need to be sure that the software, just the game itself, is the main thing.
And what about some, cooperation and expansion to, outside of the Europe? Because you were quite a lot, in the US. I saw some news, about the special, simulator in China. So what are your right now your priorities, in terms of development?
So we are mostly known in US. Europe is actually really small part of our expansion, if I can say that. It's actually more than half people who bought Beat Saber are in US. And regarding the machines you mentioned, this is part of our LBE business, like arcades. So we are not doing them or making them by ourselves. These are our partners from Korea and from US, and they are building the machines for us. Because of course we don't have any experience with that, and have our own arcade machine is bloody amazing. So we need to be sure that this is done right. So therefore we partnered with other partners, but they contacted us first. So that's the reason why there are actually branded arcade machines now around the world, and this is increasing as well.
Are there any other right now, some cooperations with these kind of, co-partners? What we can see in the near future?
What partners you mean?
I mean, like in terms that in China you have a partner who is, building the arcades and this kind of other.
Well, there is quite a lot of arcades owners or like companies where we did like some partnership. I think it's definitely more than 20 or 30 right now. And regarding China, this is interesting topic, but I'm not sure if I can mention anything right now. China is interesting.
And what is your goal there? What is your vision about China?
Well, I think China is the place what can also affect the way how VR will be seen in the future. They are investing a lot of money into VR right now. And I think if Beat Saber is the game what you should try as the first experience in VR, then it should be in China. Because they're expanding really heavily in that. So that's the only goal, to give people the very best possible experience in VR, what is available, hopefully, right now, and be sure that those guys will have great experience and then will be interested about the platform. So.
And have you ever thought about creating some marketplace, around this game, for example, as in Fortnite, that you could, for example, buy some feature, some extra feature in the game and...
Well, microtransactions, that's the topic. That's the... Yes, when you would like to bring microtransaction in the game, you can win or completely burnout. And we are really careful about that, because, as I said, we are not money-driven company. So we want to be sure that we will bring microtransactions what will make sense in the first place, and that's all what matters. So we are interested in everything what will make the game experience better. So, but the thing is that even though game transactions will be great at some point, even like to have like new swords and stuff like this is something what people really want, but it's not the priority. We need to be sure that the game is running as smooth as possible on as many devices where it makes sense, and then can be everything else.
You mentioned that many of the players and customers are from the US right now. So do you have any special strategy towards US, how to promote the game within the communities, in the VR world, in some exhibitions? What is your strategy for this market?
Our strategy is that we have no strategy. Well,
but the director.
Misha, you should be here. No, I think when you have good product and you are supporting it in the best way in terms of development, so the PR is done pretty much by itself. And as I said, we didn't spend anything for PR, and actually even PlayStation and Oculus and Steam, they are investing their money to promote the game. And just week ago, there was PewDiePie, who is the biggest YouTuber on the planet. He was streaming the whole video was about Beat Saber. We never contacted him, or I'm not aware of that. Did we? We did?
Yeah, but 6 months ago.
Okay.
It was just a long shot and nothing happened because it's he doesn't read any emails or something.
Okay. Well,
just a try.
So he did. Anyway, thank you.
You didn't know?
I didn't know that. But anyway, he did the video and it was really well received, and it has more views than his normal videos, and that's the organic virality, what is continuing to do the progress, and we are really lucky that we have something like this, what is really easy to promote in the way that people actually sharing the promotion by themselves, and so you really don't need to have any specific strategy. Our strategy is to make the game the best experience, and then it will be shared by itself.
Mm-hmm. And I know that before the Fireside, you mentioned that not all of your people from your team are in the Czech Republic, that anyone else from your team is in the US. Is the business guy, or what is your structure? You have all development here, but different kind of salesman?
Our team was built in the way that the development team, Jan and Vlado, are here in Prague. All the base of the team is here, and I was in LA as the composer and guy who is taking care about the music and music content, because all of the major labels are in Los Angeles, and most of the artists are in Los Angeles as well. So it was a good strategic place to make all the deals with them and prepare the future cooperation with those major labels. And now I return back to Prague because I want to be with team, because texting on Slack or call on Skype, it's good for a few weeks, but definitely not for long term. So I relocated back to Prague, and our next member, Jenna, she is taking care about local based entertainment, and she is located in Los Angeles. So most of the teams now in Prague, and one member is in Los Angeles. But I will be I'm going to Los Angeles next week, so I will be flying like crazy now.
And are you using within your team some special project management tool or a method, or you are not?
Well, we are a really punk company. We were actually using quite a long time Facebook Messenger. Then Misha told us that we probably should switch to Slack. Guys totally hate it, and they are complaining every single time they can about it. So then we thought about Discord, because it's more for gamers, right? So we are still on Slack, so we'll see what's happening in the future. But we really doesn't have anything special. We are still calling through Facebook Messenger. We are pretty newbies in this.
So it's more really about that you believe all the people within your team that they are fully responsible, for their part in the project. but believe that once you'll start maybe growing. I don't know. What about your thoughts about this team? You think that as the game and the project is becoming larger and larger, you definitely will grow, in the terms of people and other parts of your business. So, what are your thoughts to the future?
Well, one really important thing is that even though I'm the CEO or it's written to my name, all of the members in the company are equal, and this is like true because Jan and Vlado, like all of us, like we are all CEOs, but I'm really taking care about the thing that I need to be sure that the team is healthy and we have enough resources. We are of course seriously understaffed because the game became so huge and we have so many opportunities what is really hard to like accomplish in time, which is killing me because I'm used to go on the deadlines and I always wanted to be sure that I will meet those deadlines no matter what, but right now it's like deal which is crazy awesome and guys like not gonna happen. Deal with it. So it's new thing for me, but we definitely need more people. But also we are still, when you have more people, so those people who are in charge, like those developers and me, they will or we will eventually become more managers than the artists, and this is something what I don't want to happen because those guys are absolutely amazing in the thing what they are doing. They are awesome developers and I actually don't know anybody better. So I know when we will bring a lot of people in, those guys will be managers and they probably won't be that great managers like they are developers. So we need to find out the system of the company, how those guys still can be like the main keys in creating the game. And right now we were finishing the PlayStation version, and it makes sense to keep it how it is, even though it's super stressful and the pressure is insanely high. That the team who created the original game would blow up, that this team should finish the game and be sure that the game is done properly, how they would like to make it, and then we can bring more people and teach those people how we would like to do it. But this is also the thing why I'm happy that we don't have any investors on board, because probably right now I will be already with gun close to my head from those investors, like you should have like 50 people more right now. How the hell you don't have it? Mm-hmm. But I'm really sure that they wouldn't see that we actually are finishing the game in the best possible way. What we probably wouldn't finish with even 50 more people, because we would need to teach those people how to do those things, and then we will probably oversee, or we would never finish anything in the best possible way, just because we will be so focused on managing those guys. So that's hard, and I still don't know if the strategy what we chose is the best one. This will be shown by time, but I think it's just important to finish the game with the people who actually created the game.
And right now you already have some revenue stream. So are you already in the black numbers, or how long do you think it will take?
Well, the game was paid, or all the expenses we had and all the man hours. If you put this into numbers, it was paid in few hours after we launched it in the May. So we are not in black numbers anymore. Yeah. So that's the reason why I said that we are not a money-driven company, because we really are not struggling. But it's actually good freedom, to have money. It's nice, but it's not everything. It will just give you freedom that you can lose the pressure that you need to make the product to make the money. So we just like threw it from the window, and we said to ourselves, okay, let's do something what is just like truly awesome and what we want to do, and all the decision is made just on that. So again, good thing why we don't have investors, because they will push us in the different direction. But also our advisors, they are money driven, so and they are talking just with me. So I'm filtering those advices to my team just like a little bit, so I don't need to like tell our guys that this will be good and this will be wow. If we will make this, that you can buy house or something. So no, we don't have problem with this.
And what would you say that was your biggest challenge from your time with the Beat games?
The biggest challenge, everything is the biggest challenge in terms of like the team, because it's interesting because I think, or what I heard so far, that most of the companies have like their biggest goal is to make money, right? Because not every company, but a lot of companies are just money driven because they need to make money for salaries and everything. And this is not a bad thing. But for us, this is not the issue. The issue is to solve that, how to stay understaffed, but still make everything hopefully in time and in the best possible quality in few people, and still like stay awake or have some sleep. This is the biggest challenge, and I would love to actually ask myself in 10 years what I should do right now, but I feel we are going in the right direction. So.
And is this your like long-term strategy to keep it that way, understaffed and high quality, and because definitely there should be some in the long term.
No, definitely not. We definitely need more people, but we need to keep it that way till the game will be finished, which is almost done. And actually, PlayStation version is almost finished, or like the game should be like 1.0. So. Now is the peak when we should bring more people, in, but also guys need to be happy with those guys, which is extra challenge because they are bloody damn good. But yeah, we will definitely grow a little bit, but we probably won't be like any. I don't want to make this company like Blizzard or anything like this. This is not the point.
And in terms of technical development, is there any specific, would you say, if you are looking around, in different startups, how they are working, is there anything specific, how you are, approaching to the development of your product, of your game?
What do you mean?
I mean, like within the team, that they have maybe some different kind of software, and something how to develop the game, and if all the members within the team have some roles, and if they are rotating, for example, in some part of the game, and they are switching, for example, in some phase, what is your approach, to the development of the game, like within the team?
Well, I'm taking care right now about the whole content. So guys are taking care that the game will be running smoothly and it will work, and we will implement all the features we need. And I'm taking care now about all the music content, what will be in the game, because it's a musical game, so we need some music. And what I'm learning a lot right now as well is the music rights and the law and everything about this. And a lot of people saying that deal with music labels and the master rights and publishing rights is the hardest thing what you can actually do in the industry, because the industry, like music industry, is around like 300 years old, or it's crazy old, and it's locked somewhere in 90s, or even it's like those processes are just insanely old-fashioned. So it's challenging. So I'm taking care now about all the music and all the new content and the future, hopefully trying to also bring like the team in the one way and one vision, and also dealing with pretty much everything regarding the arcades and lawyers and everything what the company needs.
And do you have some, some patents or some different specific rights which you can apply it like globally, because I believe that there are different, laws here for Europe, for US, for China. So do you have one like some legal company or some advisor who is supporting you, or how does this work?
Yeah, guys hates lawyers, so this is other challenge for me to show them that we really need them. Even though we don't have problem with like laws or something like this, but regarding patents, if you want to protect something what you are doing, what is important, because like there's a lot of patent trolls around there who are just like trying crazy things. So we do have a law firm in US, and they are helping us a lot. We have some people here in Czech Republic as well, and yeah, just patents. Oh my God, I would, if I would have chance, I will like cancel them immediately because I really think that they are slowing down the evolution. But yeah, doing patents, it's hard, and you have to have patent for US, Europe, Asia, which is like specific thing. So yeah, we are learning that as well. But of course, you need specific people for Asia, especially just translations. If they send you the list in Japanese, just are you sure this is correct? Of course, it looks great. A lot of great pictures. Sounds good. So, and trademarks and things like this. This is also brand new thing, and you need help with that.
And what is your vision with beat games in the next 5 or 10 years?
Well, I think. Well, we are a company who are doing a game connected with music, and I really hope that what we achieve with Beat Saber will be that we will show people how to experience music in a brand new way. Because if you are in virtual reality and you are listening to music and actually physically experiencing the music, it's the most intense way how you can actually experience music. Because if you are on a gig, that's great, and you are like dancing and stuff like this, but in Beat Saber you have to be absolutely concentrated on the music and the rhythm, and because you are locked in VR, you have no other distractions. Mm-hmm. So the only thing what I would like to do in the future is that I would like to give to the world the first killer app in VR, and hopefully support the whole industry with that. And I think this is really important. And if people make other game, maybe not, I don't know, because this is right now, this is not important. Beat Saber became crazy popular, and we need to be absolutely sure that we don't screw this up. So therefore, I would love to like plan other games and stuff like this, but this is so important that you just need to dedicate everything to that project at the moment, and then we'll see. And also, it's not at all about me. There are two other guys who need to be okay with that vision. And our vision right now is Beat Saber, and that's the most important thing.
And have you ever thought with other co-founders about some exit strategy, or because I believe that of course right now you have a passion, you love the project, you are trying to pursue it as far as it's possible. But have you ever thought about it? What should be your strategy in the long term if you would like to stick with the beat games, for the next years, or if this strategy is come to your mind?
I never wanted to build company with exit strategy. I think people who are doing this, they can make great products, but I don't think that they truly love those products. And I think when you are doing something what you don't love, I don't think you can do good enough, And so I'm not building this company to prepare it for the exit. And as well, this company just grew super organically, and we are in awesome timing right now when the VR in general is growing and it's ready to explode. Hopefully next year with when the Oculus Quest is coming out. Mm-hmm. I really believe that this will be the life changer for VR, and like everything what we did so far, even how we met and everything, it feels almost like some sort of fairy tale that everything is happening so smooth and so organically that you almost feel that it should happen. And I just don't want to do this with just thinking that this is built just for exit. So no, it's not built for that.
And from the high level, what do you think and what are your thoughts about VR in gaming industry? If you are looking on it from the higher perspective, what are your thoughts about it and what is the future of the VR?
Everybody will tell you probably something different, but I personally feel that it will depend about next year. There needs to be more games like Beat Saber. There needs to be more games where people will truly be excited about it, and where it won't be like any shooter where it's like violence. It needs to be something what should catch like young children, medium age, and even old people. And it truly needs to enhance lives in the way that it needs to give you something for the time what you spend in VR. For example, now when you are playing video games on your computer, you are exchanging your time for fun what you are getting from the game. And there should be something what should like be next thing. It needs to give you something extra. So for example, in Beat Saber, you are exchanging your time for fun, but also you're exercising in a big way. People are losing like. Actually, there are articles that some guy lost 90 pounds with Beat Saber and like daily routine of Beat Saber and stuff like this, and that's very huge. I don't think that with playing video games you can lose quite a lot of weight, or maybe, but I haven't seen it yet. So there will be more games who can give you something extra, and you won't feel sick, and it will make sense to be there. It will truly become mainstream, because it had to be. If this will give you something so special and so cool that you would like to do it every day, and it will truly help you to like enhance your life, you will do it.
Do you have any other favorite VR startups globally or within the Czech startup scene? Maybe VR engineers, I don't know.
There's a lot of companies who are doing really cool stuff. One company is Live. They help us a lot with mixed reality, and I really see that they are doing it right. They ask us for a build before we released Beat Saber, and they created the video where you can see the player from third-person view. So they are filming it on green screen, and this was the video what blew up like crazy. And they are on the good way, I think, how to find the way how you can look on those VR videos. And this is also really important for VR content, because if you don't have VR and you want to watch the VR content, you need to have, the format how you would like to watch it, and they probably find the way how to make it super interesting. So they're pretty good, I think.
And they are
they're in Prague.
In Prague.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're I think those guys are from UK, but they are located now in Prague, because Prague is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone is coming to Prague from the startup scene right now, since. What about? Do you think that there is a risk? For example, if you have you looked at the movie Ready Player One? Do you think that this is something where maybe is it some kind of risk, for the future with the VR, or you don't think that this is something to worry about? That people will live, only in the virtual reality, and they'll have connections, with the people, making relations, and they will not be like in the outer world, and do it like personally.
Well, I think it's kind of extreme what was in that movie, but when you think about it, like if computer is a bicycle for humanity, then I think VR or XR in general is something what needs to make that bicycle fly in the way that it's the next step. And we are definitely going in the direction that people are spending more and more time with their phones, and this is something what is happening also naturally. And we should like be careful about that we won't spend all our lives in like virtual reality, which could be like our phones even. But we all are going there, and it probably have some reason, because we really finding out that we can do much more things with that. And I don't think that, definitely not in our lifetimes, we will be like in Ready Player One. There will be amazing technology, and you could be there if you would like to, but you still have this like body, and you still like need to walk to not lose your muscles and stuff like this. So, you know, I don't think this will happen. Maybe there will be like the augmented reality, that people will wear glasses and there will be no mobile phones anymore. Everything will be like in the glasses and then in your head or whatever. But people will just like try to probably enhance the vision, how you see the world. And so in, I don't know, 20, 30 years, there will be you, me, and other like people from around the world, like sitting here, but not like personally, but like, you know, in some holograms, that we will just like try to enhance the reality in the way that you will get more from it. And this is what will probably happen.
Do you think that in the future will be important to educate, you know, people, and especially, you know, the children, you know, since they are you know, coming to all of these new technologies, you know, as early as they can, to just, you know, educate them maybe how to use them, and show them in what ways it's good, you know, to use these technologies.
Definitely. I think there will be one big thing about artificial intelligence. It will be hand in hand, and there is a lot of theories where this can go. Some positive, some negative, but definitely I think like children, and like even now children are connected with mobile phones really early already, and like next generation it will be even more. You know, just if you see the direction when the computer was invented till today, it's really easy to see the trajectory where things are going, and probably I don't think it will change in the future that rapidly. So there is pretty big chance that like children's in 10, 20 years will be like connected somehow to their computers or whatever from the very, very young age. And it's really important to be sure that it's not going into the extreme. And yeah, this will be challenging. Same with artificial intelligence. This will be really challenging to make it right, because it's really easy to make it not right. so yeah, there needs to be done a lot of work.
And finally, before we'll go to Q&A, what would you advise, you know, to anyone who would like to start something, you know, on his own? What would you advise him, maybe in 3 points, like some key points, what is important to think about?
So one is definitely that you need to do what you love. This is the most important thing. If you will do something what you just think it's good, you will never do it in the best possible way. This is first. Second, you need the very best team. And third, you need persistence, that you need to, no matter what happens, you just need to continue in your vision, because there will be a lot of things what will go wrong, and a lot of people who wouldn't like to help you. So if you will continue in the thing what you believe in, and you will at least a little bit see that it makes sense and it's really working, it means that probably it's a good idea, and you really need to like continue in that idea, but it will be hard. So these 3 things, I think.
Okay, thanks. So let's look for other guys who would like to ask you What is your dream project that you would like to work on, and where you would really want to be responsible for the music, audio effects?
Well, I think Beat Saber is my big dreams come true in the way that it's awesome to work for like Overwatch or the biggest games, but to make something where you are fully responsible for something what you are doing, and if you screw this up, people will tell you that's bad, and if you do it right, so you are happy because you know that it's your work. So just this thing, it's something that I always wanted to do, and I wanted to do even more after I work on those big projects. So right now I actually can't tell any, even it will be for White House or something. I don't know, the biggest project on the planet. It's not that important. It's really something that you can work on something truly yours. So yeah, Beat Saber, it's in good direction in that.
And do people in the different parts of the world prefer different sounds? Interesting questions. The Chinese don't like the smell, fragrance, or brand new cars, but Westerns do.
This is also interesting because we are now really connected to Asia, and there is a lot of people in gaming in Asia, and they definitely have different tastes. And for me, it's brand new because they are, they have a lot of anime and things like this, and a lot of cheesy type of things, which are amazing. They definitely have different tastes, and the content for Beat Saber, they definitely want more K-pop or J-pop in the game because this is something really close to them. US guys, they really like the electronic music, and Europe, they also like electronic music, but I think that the US they like it little more combined with pop, and Europe a little more aggressive. It's interesting, but definitely there are different tastes in the music, and what I love about it is that when you combine everything together, something really interesting happens. So and Beat Saber is actually all about it because there are Asian inspiration, and it works in US as well. There's the perfect match of all those cultures because it can be played by everybody, and everybody are enjoying it. So yeah.
Okay. Now, what is the biggest challenges to mass adoption of VR right now?
Content. I think the hardware is next year. We will get the hardware, which should be mainstream, and the only thing what will decide if this will truly get mainstream will be the content. And if we will have more games, what will be truly what will be truly hits, then it will become mainstream. So the content, it's all about it.
Do you think that VR will adapt in different industries? For example, in banking, and all other parts, or what do you think?
It definitely.
Retail. Yeah.
I think it will definitely be or it's already in designing new things. This is the perfect spot. I don't know if this will be in banking. I actually thought a long time ago about open offices that people actually can close themselves into the VR, but oh my god, I really don't want to make this happen because this will look so bad. You will be locked in your world and you don't need to care what is around you. But
there's the Ready Player One.
Yeah, but where's the point to then be in the room with other people? So you will just lose the connections and stuff like this. Even though now the social networking will be happening in VR really heavily, but yeah, there is a lot of implementation. But I think also the biggest problem what a lot of developers are trying to do, and I think it's a mistake, is that they are trying to put VR to everything. And VR truly, as every platform like AR, it should be just you should really use the advantages of the VR and make the content from those advantages, and then you will get something truly great. So I don't think the banking will be the best place for VR. Maybe yes, but I don't think so.
Okay. Are you interested in investing to VR startups? Yeah, this is definitely something interesting. If you have ever thought, about acquiring or investing.
Yes, I think it's important to support good projects. So we are actually thinking about one right now, and just because we were lucky, we should, in my opinion, to give something back and support other companies who are doing great things in our opinion. So yeah, we are definitely interested.
What is doing that one which you are thinking about acquiring it? The startup, as you mentioned.
Well, I don't want to share it right now because we didn't announce anything about this yet. But yeah, it's involved in PR.
And in your heart, do you feel more as the composer or as the businessman? I guess that's maybe composer.
Yeah, every composer who is freelancer have to be businessman, otherwise he will die. But it's a good question. I think I'm lucky enough it's somewhere in the middle, so I can understand the business, but at the same time I feel art. I feel those artists, so it's actually with, for example, Jan, our main developer. He's true artist in my opinion. He's the thing what he's doing. It's artistic way how to express the code or visuals, and then therefore it's really easy to work with him because I actually feel how he feel when he's creating the code, even though I know nothing about coding. So and that's great because I think everybody who's creating something have to be a little bit artistic, and then have to think a little bit in a business way, because you need to find the place in the middle to make something successful. Because and this is I think the big mistake, and from the past we already seen those examples that developers think that businessmen are crap and that they are taking a lot of credit even though they didn't create the thing. But they don't understand that without them, nobody will know about it probably, or nobody would buy it. So it needs to be somewhere really in the middle, and I'm really lucky, or I feel lucky that I can understand both worlds.
I think that this is pretty important, once you are in the business, that you understand both sides. You don't necessarily understand, the coding, but you have the co-founder who is really good at it. So
yeah, but it's important to feel them in the way that you understand that when he's pissed off that he don't want to do something like this, so you understand why he don't want to do it like this, and therefore it's good that we don't have proper business person who is 100% business focused, and he will probably do the business much more better than I do, but then he will drive Jan that mad that Jan will just say, I'm not going to do this anymore. So this is also really important, I think, for every company, that when you are still small, so every element, it's really the biggest challenge is to make every element at least happy in the way that they are not disgusted from the work anymore. Even though we can make some money, but it's all about the team in the end. So that's the most important thing.
Okay. So last two questions. What was your biggest challenge you had to deal with it so far? I know that you mentioned during your beat games year, but during whole your life, what was the biggest challenge?
I think, every big step requires to step out from your comfort zone. And this is always the hardest thing. And it can bring you crazy benefits, and it can also ruin everything. And just to go through this every single time, this is challenging, because sometimes it's not about the work, just the work. It's all about whole your life. Because, for example, when I quit the uni, the mechanical engineering, so I left all my friends. Unfortunately, even the relationship was broke because I was in UK, So you pretty much like take all your life and just like cancel everything what you built till that point, just because you think that it might be a good idea to try it, and not everybody will do it. And then I did the same thing with when I moved to US, and I think that this is enough for this life. So I will try to like a little bit slow down in this, but like this step was absolutely it was hard. Yeah.
So definitely maybe to add to the key points, as advice to the entrepreneurs, that self-confidence definitely is something what is more maybe important too.
I don't feel that I'm self-confident enough, or I don't feel that much self-confident, but I learn how to trust my like instincts or feelings, and when I know that like this direction is right, you just like feel it, that it just works in your head. And if those things what you need to sacrifice are not like bigger than the chance what you can gain from it in the matter of like what can bring to your life, then or what it can bring in long term to your family and stuff like this, then it makes sense from mathematical point of view that it makes sense to do that and go through that risk. So, but yeah, a lot of people actually like write me because they were inspired by like those steps from other people or even like me, but then they just like said, okay, let's try it, and they didn't succeed. And when they text me that, well, they are abroad, but they are like they have problem because nothing happened, so what they should do. So then I asked them like why they did it when they get into this position, and I wanted to try it, so I went from it. And I told them, yeah, but I never wanted to try it. I every time knew that this is the best thing what can happen, or like the best thing what I can do in this moment, and I trust 100% that this will end up in the good way, or I will be dead. There is nothing in the middle. So, and this mindset will just brings you into it, because if you just want to try it, it's probably not gonna happen. But you need to be so like focused on the thing that it will probably happen, because you will just make the right decisions.
And last question, will you give us a nice sounding electrical vehicles?
I actually work on that.
Yeah, wow.
Nice. We'll see in the future.
Can you tell us more?
No.
Okay.
Well, there is one project, and in the future, maybe.
And then?
I really can't speak about this project.
Okay. So maybe the last one. This is interesting. What is the biggest difference between doing business in the US and here?
So, I think that the mindset of the people, like it's so. Well, I came here. I'm now official, the guy who lives in Prague, and it's really like the mindset of people when I'm talking with people in like a pub or everywhere. It's very very different from people who lives, for example, in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is like the complete extreme. There's like most of the people there are so motivated and so passionate about things what they are doing, and they are willing to stay in work like 24/7 or 48 hours immediately without like complaining or asking why they should be there, because it's just different mindset. And actually what's also different is that they really wish you success. Like most of the people I spoke with, if they see that you are doing something interesting and it actually changing some ways how something worked in the past, they truly wish you that you will. They wish you that success. And this is, I don't think that this is happening here. They will tell you like, yeah, great job, but mostly they think, damn, I want it too. In US guys, they think it that way too, but they want to learn from you how you did it, and they want to like speak with you, and they are excited that somebody did it, so they want to be successful as well. But I a little bit feel that here somehow we are still in the way that people try to like do excuse for yourself why they didn't have the same thing, and that excuse means that they will try to like put like some shame on that guy who did it. You know, this is something what I experienced, and I don't think this is the great way how to deal with it, because this will just cause that those people will stay in the same place. And all those guys I admire, and who are my like the people who I look into. I always want to like speak with them and give them like questions and ask what they think, how things should be done and stuff like this. Or I read their books and stuff like this, because this will give you a lot of inspiration. And a lot of people here are doing it as well, and it's definitely better now than like 10 years ago. But I still think we really need to work on that people will stop seeing things like pessimistically, but see everything, even like bad things, what they are happening to them, as a challenge, and like
I mean that part, you know, with the feedback, you know, and get some learning points, you know, and learn from others. That this is definitely what is important, you know, to share within the whole, you know, entrepreneurs and other, you know, industries. And definitely this is something what we are doing within the startup grind as well. So thank you very much that you could make it here and share your story, you know, and your learnings and anything. Thank you very much. So
thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.